kādēļ Ayurveda ir unikāla, tad doktors, Sir, maybe kindly, I will better ask you to present yourself and tell about yourself. That will be better than...
Myself, Dr. Madan Gulati.
Tas Dr. Madans Gulati.
I have 40 years experience in Ayurveda.
Doktoriem ir 40 gadu pieredze Ayurvedā.
I retired Deputy Director, Ayush Department, Chandigarh.
Chandigarhā, Ziemeļa Indijā, viņš arī cieši saistīts ar Ayushu.
So, my son-in-law is Ayurvedic doctor, my daughter is Ayurvedic doctor, my wife is Ayurvedic doctor. We have a team of Ayurvedic doctors. So, we have started a splendid Ayurveda because I understand Dr. Rosenberg has signed an agreement with Latvia University and they are flourishing Ayurveda like anything. It was my dream.
Tas ir bijis doktora sapnis daudzas gadus, ka Eiropā arī Ayurveda progresēs.
I'm really very happy, very glad to see such Ayurvedic doctors. Modern system doctors are, I think, they are knowing mostly the Ayurvedic system, they are knowing it. And my topic, as you know, is uniqueness.
Un mēs lūdzām doktoriem, mums teica, kādu tēmu izvēlēties. Un mēs tieši teicām, lai doktors nestāsta par ievadu, lai viņš vienkārši pastāsta saviem vārdiem, kādēļ viņam Ayurveda ir unikāla. Mēs gan lūdzām par tēmu Uniqueness of Ayurveda.
Uniqueness of Ayurveda. So
and I'll just interrupt, because that is what I spoke with Sarah also on the phone. I said, all these people now, Vata Pitta Kakkas, they don't need that. They just need your individual sharing your deep realizations over many years. Why is Ayurveda unique for you?
Yes.
So, and for everyone else?
It's unique because I will tell that because why it is unique. We have to see what are the salient features, what are the main features of Ayurveda.
Mums vienkārši paskatīsimies, kādas ir tās unikālās tie aspekti, kādi ir Ayurvedā.
As you know, there are so many problems which we have no answer in the modern system for. Yes.
Modernajā medicīnā ir ļoti daudz problēmas, uz kurām mums nav īsti atbildes.
For example, there is a big challenge, that is, what is the answer of the autoimmune diseases?
Piemēram, autoimūnās saslimšanas.
So autoimmune diseases are increasing like anything. We have ulcerative colitis, we have sarcoidosis, we have so many problems.
Tik daudz slimības, tā kā čulainais kolīts, sarkoidos un tā tālāk.
I think the answer is very simple. That is in Ayurveda, that is the concept. Mark Carter just told about that. Ama. Ama is the endotoxins. They are the cause of free radicals in the body.
Un piemēram, tāda koncepcija Ayurvedā, dziļa koncepcija Ayurvedā, kā amas koncepcija, tie ir endogēni, mūsu toksīni, kas rāda, kā mēs varam interpretēt, piemēram, kā brīvos radikālus.
So all the diseases due to the ama, that is, what is ama? That's very important. She just tried to tell, I will give a little, that is, Ushmano alpabalt ven dhatum adema pachitam se amsangekam deham sardosh prakopam. It is when the internal fire is very less. When the internal fire, that is, the enzymes are not properly working.
Tad, kad mūsu iekšējā uguns kļūst vāja, tad, kad mūsu enzīmu hormonālā sistēma kļūst vāja,
then there is endotoxins are produced in the body.
Tad endotoksīni pieaug organismā.
That is the root cause of the autoimmune diseases.
Un tas ir pēc primāriem saknēm autoimūno slimību.
We have
kādēļ tās notiek.
When we see the symptoms like Srota Rod, Malbhransh, Gaurav, Anil Murta, Alasya, Apakti, Nishtivan, Malsang, Ruchikaram. When we see 9 signs, that is, there is there is a blockage, some obstruction in the main intestine, we see that Srota Rod and the patient is going again and again for increasing this for excretion. So then when we see this type of symptoms, we say that this is suffering from the ama, that is the free radicals are just going to become.
Un Ayurveda unikāli to, ka mēs jau to ļoti agrīni redzam. Piemēram, Ayurveda māk atpazīt to, ka šratas ir kanālos, ir piemēram obstrukcija vai kaut kāda cita problēma ar kanāliem. Mēs to atpazīstam, ka tur būs ama.
As Madam Rosenberg just told that this is the importance of diet. I was just seeing by slide that is the importance of diet. In Ayurveda we say pathya sati kadartasya kim mushti nishevitam. Pathya asati kadartasya kim mushti nishevitam. If diets are wrong, no need of medicine. If diets are right, no use of medicine.
tieši kā ir teikts, ja mums ir korekta diēta, uzturs, tad mums nekad nebūs vajadzīgas zāles. Un otrādi, lai arī kādas zāles mēs dzertu, nekas nepalīdzēs, ja nebūs uzturs kārtībā.
So, in Ayurveda we give the due importance to the diet. For example, when we prepare a medicine, when we give some medicine, we have to tell the patient that this type of diet you will have to take. Otherwise, the problem will not be solved.
Lai arī kādas zāles mēs dotu pacientam, mēs vienmēr stāstam par to, kāds šim pacientam ir pareizais uzturs, jo citādi tas nelīdzēs.
So Ayurveda is also one of the unique symptoms, this is uniqueness of Ayurveda, that is free from the side effects, rather there are side benefits.
Ayurvedā ir daudz mazāk blakņu, dažkārt apgalvo, ka nav blakņu, bet medikamentiem, bet tieši pretēji, ja tie dod pareizi, tad ir pat blakus pozitīvi efekti. Pozitīvi efekti uz citām orgānu sistēmām.
Because in Ayurveda we say prayoga shamyet vyadhi, yo anyom vivye nasa vishuddha shuddhastu shmedyo nakopet. Prayoga, when we use a medicine, you are going to cure one problem, but it is very sad that one problem is being solved, we are getting 2 more problems. That is not in Ayurveda.
Dažkārt gadās tā rietu medicīnā, ka mēs vienu problēmu risinot radam 2 jaunas. Ayurvedā tā nav.
So this part is also very important, that when we give some medicine to the patient in Ayurveda, it is my personal experience which I would like to share, that I used to give Brahmi, you know, and other medicine that was Amalki and Brahmi. A patient came to me suffering from headache. He was having headache, and I just prescribed Brahmi as well as Amalki Rasayan. So after few days, the patient came to me, he said, "Oh, I am free from the headache, but at the same time, my hairs have grown lot and increased, and my eyesight is also increased." This is the beauty of Ayurveda.
Un Ayurvedas krāšņums, bagātība ir iekš tā, ka, piemēram, ja pacients atnāk ar galvas sāpēm, nevar ka visiem dot, bet tajā konkrētā gadījumā tā bija, ka pacientam bija galvas sāpes, viņam iedeva Brahmi Rasayanu un Amalaki Rasayanu, un pacients nākamajā reizē, kad atnāca pasvītrot, viņam ir arī uzlabojušies mati labāk aug un redze arī paralēli ir uzlabojusies.
So in Ayurveda, what is disease? This is very important. For example, in modern system, when we say dis-ease, a person is not at ease. But an Ayurvedist approach is that, what is the imbalance in the body? What is the imbalance? The patient rogastu dosh vaishamyam, dosh samyam parokta. We have to see the imbalance of tri-energies. That is Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That is kinetic energy, thermal energy and potential energy.
Ja rietumu medicīnā mums izpratne par slimību ir tas, ka, vai par veselību ir tas, ka cilvēks ir brīvs no ciešanām, tāds burtiski dis-ease, tad Ayurvedā vienmēr runa ir par disbalansiem šajās 3 enerģijās, kas ir Vata, Pitta, Kapha, kinētiskā enerģija, termiskā enerģija un potenciālā enerģija.
When a patient comes to us, we just examine the pulse of the patient and we say, we think that why is the problem? But the modern approach is, what is the problem? So there is the difference.
Ayurvedas ārsts vienmēr pirmo jautājumu uzdos, kādēļ ir problēma. Rietumu ārsts parasti teiks, kuri ir problēma.
So our approach is that we should identify the imbalance. In Ayurveda, in the main Granth, Shastra, in the Sutra Sthan, 18th Adhyaya, it is mentioned, in the chapter 18 chapter is clearly mentioned, Vikar naam akushlam, na jiryat kadachin, nahi sarva vikaranam, naam to asti dhurvastiti, tasmat vikar prakriti adhishthan antranicha, samuthan visheshusya budva karma samachit, jnana buddhi pradipin, yonavishti yogivat, adrasantra atmanam pranatha rogasya. The beauty of the Ayurveda is mentioned in this shloka. When a person comes, so now we will translate that vikar naam akushlam. What is the meaning of this? We should not be hesitant. In the modern system, we are always after the name of the disease. Patient is died, and we are seeing that from which problem this patient died.
Rietumu medicīnā vienmēr mūsu problēma ir tā, ka mēs nesāksim ārstēt, mēs jau bremzēsim, kamēr mēs neidentificēsim, nenosauksim slimību kaut kādā vārdā. Un pacients jau varbūt mirst, bet mēs jau domājam, kādā mēs definēsim šo slimību, no kuras viņš mirst.
But our great rishis have told us that there will be so many problems, big problems like cancer, like so many problems will come. But you are not be ashamed. Vikarnam Kuslam na jihat kadachin nahi sarv vikarnam naam to. There will be not possible that you will be giving name to every disease, every. So more stress is not given to the naming of the disease. It's more stress is given in the Ayurveda to identify the imbalance.
Un Ayurvedā senie riši, senie gudrie vienmēr ir likuši uzsvaru uz disbalansu identificēšanu. Mēs nemēģinām katru problēmu, katru slimību nosaukt vārdā un pierakstīt kaut kādā klasifikācijā, bet izvērtēt tā konkrētā cilvēka disbalansu, atpazīt.
So the diagnosis is based on the 8 principles, that is Rog Akrant Shrirasya Sthano Ashto Parikshit Nadi Mutram Malam Jiva Shab Sparsh Drik Akriti. This is the message given by our great rishis, that we have to identify the diseases. What is the problem? What is the which dosha is initially violated, and which is the tissue which is involved, dhatu, and where is the sthan sanshaya? The sthan sanshaya means where is the accumulation of dosha is there. So all these factors are taken into consideration. Then we make some treatment.
Un Ayurvedā ir dažādas diagnostikas metodas. Viena no tām ir 8 pakāpju diagnostika, kur mēs izvērtēsim gan došas, mēs izvērtēsim dhatu stāvokli, mēs izvērtēsim lokalizāciju no stānas vietas viedokļa, kurā vietā šis došas akumulējas.
So regarding the cure or the treatment, Ayurvedic principle is very clear. Yabhi kriya bhi jayantu Sharire Dhatve Sme Sach Chikitsa Vikaranam Karam Tas Vishjamatam. That means that whatsoever you do, you may do yoga, you may do pranayama, you may do anything, because yoga and Ayurveda are the one and they are the points of the same. Okay? That Ayurveda and yoga, you may do some pranayama, you may do some meditation, you may do, because both the systems as Ayurveda and yoga, they say they believe in Vata, Pitta and Kapha. That are in the imbalance of Vata, Pitta and Kapha.
Nav svarīgi, ko mēs izmantosim. Tā var būt joga, tā var būt pranājama. Galvenais ir fakts, ka visas šīs vēdiskās zinātnes, viņas iet roku rokā dēļ tā, kad ir kopēja izpratne, piemēram, par tām pašām 3 došām.
So in Ayurveda we have to see that whatsoever principle we follow, we may advise some exercise, or we may give some medicine, I will do some panchkarma. All the main principle is that we have to make the imbalance to balance.
Galvenais princips ir, ka mēs disbalansu novēršam un atgriežam līdzsvaru stāvoklī. Vienalga, kā mēs to darīsim, vai tie būs medikamenti, vai pančakarma, vai joga, vienalga, ko mēs pielietosim.
So nowadays a lot of research is being done in Ayurveda on the nanotechnology. This time is of nanotechnology.
Pašlaik ir nanotehnoloģijas laiks arī Ayurvedā, tik ļoti daudz pētītas nanotehnoloģijas.
So it is the beauty of Ayurveda that Ayurveda believes from the centuries. It believes that Alpasya api mahatvatvam Parbhutsya al-karmtam Puryat sanjog vishlesh kal sanskar yukti bhi. Meaning thereby that Ayurveda believes that when we give a small dose of a medicine, it can do a miracle.
Ayurvedā ir ļoti skaidri saprotams, ka pareizās devās medikaments un pareizā formā devās var izdarīt brīnumus.
And for that we have to make some addition, some subtraction from the molecules. We have to take the subtraction. For example, Puryas and Yog, we have to add something.
Un ir dažādas preparāta izgatavošanas metodas, kaut kādu ekstraktu izvēle, kaut kādam pievieno. Ir dažādas metodas aprakstīt.
We have to remove certain things from that.
Piemēram, kaut kādas nevajadzīgas vielas ir tiek izņemtas ārā.
And we have to make some sanskar. Sanskar means to keep it for some time.
Un sanskar nozīmē kādu laiku, piemēram, veikt preparātu, kur jānotur
kādu laiku. And then those medicines are very effective, very effective.
Un šīm senajām vadlīnijām sekot, tad šā preparāta ļoti efektīvi.
So I see that this Ayurveda is being spread to this European Union. Those pure Ayurvedic medicines are the need of the hour.
Un arī Eiropas Savienībā Ayurveda kļūst arvien populārāk ziemeļos, un, protams, ir vajadzīgi šādi sākotnēji preparāti.
Because the people don't want to take much churnas like powders. The people, they don't want to take so much powder in the form of powder, and they feel sometimes nausea and vomiting all at the same time.
Dažkārt cilvēkiem, rietumu cilvēkiem ir ļoti grūti turēties sākotnēji preparāti, piemēram, no čurnām dažiem slikti paliek, viņiem čurnas liekais.
So for that, the Ayurvedic practices are made according to the taste of these are known as kiryas. In Ayurveda, we say that different types of the Beshajya Ratnavali, we say we make the preparations in different ways. So for that, we have to do something like that. Aruchir Prasangita. Shigram Arogya Daitva Oshadi Bhyo Adhiko Rakta. The principle of Ayurvedic medicine is that it should work quickly, the need of the hours, that it should work quickly.
Un ir dažādi pielāgošanās, kas nepieciešami, bet ir pamata principi, ka viens no tiem ir, ka labām zālēm ir jābūt tādām, kas iedarbojas ātri.
And instead of giving a large amount of the powders or giving the kwas, kashaya, we have to put them, make the extract of the medicine and put into some capsule.
Un pašlaik arī tiek populāri, tiek veidoti tādas formas, ka, piemēram, no kašājiem, kā novārījumiem, paņem to ekstraktu ārā kašājiem un kapsulē. Ieliek kapsulās.
So you will be very glad to know that we have introduced this plant Ayurveda in this city of Latvia, that they have prepared some capsules, and those medicines having the extract of the like ashwagandha, in a proper form, under the proper guidance. So this type of medicine, passed by the good manufacturing practices, GMP, those medicines have been supplied to this country of Riga.
Un arī Latvijā viņi tagad nodrošina pēc labiem izgatavošanas standartiem tādus preparātus.
So it will be very easy for the Ayurvedic practitioners to do the Ayurvedic practice, because most of the patients, they say, we don't want to take the decoction.
Tāpēc daudzi pacienti negrib, viņiem grūti, teiksim, sākotnējos preparātus.
Some patients say, we don't want to take this churna because this will cause some vomiting or some nausea.
Jo no čurnām dažkārt pacientiem ir, tā kā slikta duša un tā tālāk.
So now I will also discuss with you what is the method of curing the patient. For example, when a patient comes to Ayurvedic doctors, what is the real approach that we have to, which time we should do the right treatment. There is a sutra in Ayurveda, that is Sanchaya Apahanta Dosha Labhante Na Utragati Te Tuchrasu Gatishu Bhavantu Balvatra. That means that we have to identify the stage. What is the stage of the patient who has come to us?
Un tad, kad mēs izvērtējam pacientu, pirmais, ko mēs novērtējam, ir kādā stadijā, ja mēs runājam par slimību, kādā stadijā veselības vai slimības stadijā pacients atrodas. Tas ir pirmais, ko mēs izvērtējam.
For example, a patient is suffering from cancer. We say that it is going to happen cancer because 4 stages they have already crossed. 4 stages, that is Sanchaya, Parkop, Parsat and Sthan Sanchaya. An Ayurvedic doctor can identify the 4 stages before a cancer is developed.
Un pieņemsim pat pie onkoloģiskām slimībām labs ajurvēds ārsts. Pirms parādās, pirms došas disbalans jau ir kaut kādā stāna, kaut kādā lokalizācijā. Pirmajās, kad vēl ir tās stādijas, kad vēl ir prakopa un tā tālāk, tās pirmās stādijas, kamēr vēl nav lokalizācija, labs ajurvēds ārsts var atpazīt tās sākotnējās doša disbalansa stādijas. Pat pie audzēja, pat pie potenciāli, ja ar laiku varētu būt audzējs, ārsts var to tā kā izteikt brīdinājumu.
For example, a patient is suffering from hyperacidity.
Piemēram, ja ir pārmērīgi daudz skābes.
Having hyperacidity is continuously increasing, and an Ayurvedic doctor has just ignored that it is local sanchaya, means accumulation of the pitta in the stomach.
Piemēram, pārāk daudz krājas, tātad ir sanchaya tajā konkrētā lokalizācijā, pitta krājas.
So that hyperacidity is going to create, we are not curing it. When we are not curing it, we are not reversing it, we are just suppressing the disease that can ultimately lead to cancer.
Un ja mēs tikai tā kā nomācam tos simptomus, bet neārstējam ignorējam šo faktu, tad ar laiku arī tajā lokalizācijā varētu attīstīties kaut kas nelabvēlīgs.
So this is the beauty of Ayurveda. If you study Ayurveda in proper way, we can identify Sanchaya, we can identify Prakopa, we can identify the Prasar, then we can identify the Sthan Sanshaya. So these 4 stages, if some Ayurvedic doctors, you study the details of what is the symptoms of Sanchaya of different diseases and what is the stage of the Prakopa, what are the particular symptoms, then we can give the patient relief before some serious problem is developed.
Un tas ir viens no tādiem unikāliem aspektiem Ayurvēdā, ka kamēr vēl daži nav izgājusi no savas, nav aizceļojusi tur, ka tai nav jāatrodas uz kādu citu lokalizāciju un nav tur iekārtojusies, kamēr vēl ir tas disbalans sākuma pirmajās 4 stadijās, tikmēr Ayurvēdas ārstus to spēj atpazīt.
And one beautiful concept of Ayurveda is that we give some Rasayan Pushtis. Rasayan, you know, like Pipli Rasayan, alternative drugs, that is the immunomodulator drugs.
Un Ayurvēdā ir daudzas rasāyanas, piemēram, tādi preparāti, kas ir imūnu sistēmas modulējoši.
Because in our text there is written, Dirgham Ayu Smriti Metha, Arogyam Tardam Vair, Prabha Varn Swat Darya, De Indriya Balam Param, Vaksiddhi Printam Kanti Lapte Narasayana, Lavo Pai Shastana, Prasadi Namasayana. The beauty of the Ayurveda is that there are certain medicines which can increase the lifespan, like promotive health.
Tad ir aprakstīts šīs rasāyanas, ir medikamenti, kas uzlabo dzīves kvalitāti, bet arī dod iespēju paildzināt kvalitatīvas dzīvi un uzlabot.
For example, there is Pipli Rasayan. Pipli, you know, Pipli. Pipli. Now, Pipli, for example, we call Pipli Madhu Sukta, Mez Ka Finashni, Shwas Ka Surari, Vishya Medyagni. This is miracle drug in Ayurveda. When we give in a proper Rasayan form, Rasayan means small dose is to be increased. Pipli.
Ja, parasta rasāyanas formā pareizi dod pacientam, tad Pipli ir tā kā brīnum zāle, viena no brīnum zālēm.
Similarly, there is the Amalki Rasayan. We give Amalki. This is the Imlica officinalis.
Līdzīgi arī Amalaki, kas arī ir brīnum zāle.
And similarly, there is the Ashwagandha. That is the Vidhaniya Somnifera.
Vai, piemēram, Ashwagandha.
So these type of medicines, like Brahmi also, Bikopa Muneri, you know, all these medicines are like the Rasayan. The Rasayan means alternative drugs. We can give it to the patient. In the patient, we can help the patient of a cancer, of a patient suffering from some chronic ailment. So these medicines are really very good.
Un daudziem pacientiem ar kroniskām slimībām, arī onkoloģijas pacientiem ir ļoti labi rezultāti no šiem medikamentiem.
So all these factors of Ayurveda we have to take into consideration that, for example, when a patient comes to us, then our approach is always that patient should be totally cured. Eradication should be there, but not only the symptoms may be suppressed. We don't believe in suppressing the symptoms.
Un Ayurveda netic tam, ka vajag vienkārši tā strauji uzlabot pacientu stāvokli, mākslīgi nomācot simptomus. Ayurveda uzskata, ka vajag izārstēt, atrast sakni, izārstēt pacientu.
So in meditation, for example, there is a diabetes mellitus. So Ayurveda can help in diabetes mellitus, the problem of diabetes mellitus. A lot of scope is in Ayurveda, is there. Recently, Ayush Department, Government of India has done a research on this diabetes mellitus, and they have developed a herbal medicine that is BGR34. So we are using it and we are getting very good results with this medicine in the patient of diabetes mellitus. So in Ayurveda we can, there are so many things are there which we can deeply study. For example, when a patient is suffering from some chronic ailment, we have to identify what is that's the Avran dosha. There is a concept of Avran dosha, Avran and Avrat dosha. That we have, if you will do the post-graduation Ayurveda, you can do that study of Avran and Avrit. That dosha is where the Vata and Pitta and Kapha, which dosha is, where is Avran? You can tell Avran dosha, Avran, obstruction.
Un, piemēram, tad, kad students jau tā advancētāk mācās Ayurvedu, tad ir tā koncepcija par Avran došu, jau, piemēram, obstrukcijām.
For example, there is some obstruction in the body, then anywhere when there is obstruction, In the Ayurvedic principles, we can identify so the Srota Rod, that we identify the problem by saying that Ati Pravritti, Sangova, Saranam Granthi, Apiva, Vimaragamnam, Chapi, Srosam Dushti Dakshanam. On the basis of Ayurvedic principles, on the basis of Ayurvedic principles, we can identify where is the obstruction. For example, this myocardial infarction, we will identify on the basis of the symptoms that is described in Ayurveda to find out there is some obstruction or there is some extra flow of some secretions. Ati Pravritti, there is more amount of the secretion is there. That's called Ati Pravritti.
Varbūt divi varianti. Vai nu ir kaut kādā šrotasā, kaut kur ir obstrukcija, kā piemēram Daktaris minēja miokārda infarktu, jo senos laikos bija aprakstīts, kā viņas identificēt, kur, un līdzīgi pretēji arī Ayurveda ir aprakstīts, kā var identificēt, ja kaut kur ir pārāk liela plūsma, pārāk spēcīga plūsma, to arī var identificēt.
So we can identify the Sang dosh. Sang means there some obstruction on the principles of Ayurveda. We can identify that, and we have to decide that treatment which is to be given, where we should give the palliative treatment and where we should give the Panchkarma Shodhan Chikitsa, that is eradication of the dosha.
Un, kā jūs jau zināt, visi ir dažādi varianti, ko var darīt, un labs Ayurvedas ārsts viņš te identificē, vai tajā gadījumā došas var tikai noremdināt, tā kā nomierināt, vai taisīt pančakarmu nopietnāku attīrīšanos, kur to došu vienkārši dzen ārā.
And there is also a principle of Ayurveda treatment that is Pakwash. For example, there is written that if the doshas are in the chest, for example, there is Amasya Gate Vate Kaphe Pakwasha Ashrite Ruksh Purva Hitar Sveda Sne Purv Tathepcha. This is the sutra in Ayurveda. There is some sutra which we have to study. That, for example, there is some phlegm is there in the lungs. So what the line of treatment will be?
Un ir daudz sutras Ayurvedā, ir tāds ļoti koncentrēti teksti, kur ir aprakstīts, ko darīt konkrētā situācijā. Ja, piemēram, došas disbalans, ja pa daudz kaut kas krājas, piemēram, krūšu rajonā, krūšu kurvī, tas kā piemērs, ko tad darīt?
For example, this is the region of chest, it is the stan of kapha. That is the place of kapha.
Krūšu daļa ir kapha stāna, ir kaphas mājvieta.
But there is vata. The patient is having pain in the chest, but that is the region of the kapha.
Un mēs redzam, ka šādam pacientam ir sāpes krūšu rajonā, tad viņam ir pārmērīgi daudz vatas kapha stānā.
Yes. If it is the problem of the vata dosha has entered into the kapha sthan, we have to sthan jehdi purvam sthan sat virodhita. We have to take care that we have not to do we have to do on the Ayurvedic principles, we have to do massage. We will win the dosha of vata and then kapha will be removed. We have to take care of the kapha dosha in the chest.
Un šajā gadījumā mums ir jāparūpējas gan par vatu, gan par kaphu, citiem vārdiem sakot, mums vajag dabūt prom to vatu, bet mums vienmēr ir jāpatur prātā, ka tā ir kaphas mājvieta, tad mēs nevaram ārstēt tikai vatu, mēs arī ņem vērā to, ka tā ir kaphas mājvieta.
Similarly, and the patient suffering from this ulcerative colitis. So there is inflammation in the pitta sthan. This is kapha has the mucus is coming. Kapha is in the sthan of vata. Pakvasha is the sthan of vata.
Pakvasha, ir tā galva daļa zarnu galējai daļa zarnā, tā ir vatas mājvieta, bet tajā vietā veidojas daudz gļotājas sekrēcijas, kas ir liekā kapha, nevajadzīga kapha tajā stānā.
So in the vata, we have to take care of the vata first, and then we have to do the chikitsa of the kapha.
Tātad šajā gadījumā mēs pa priekšu parūpēsimies, lai vata paliek līdzsvarā, jo tā ir vatas stāna, un tad mēs dzīsim projām lieko kaphu.
So in nutshell, we have to take care of the this doshas in all the this problem that we have to take care of the what is dosh, what is the how much dosh is vitiated and how much the dusha, where the dosh has entered. Dosha is the mushra.
Mēs izvērtējam, kura doša ir nokļuvusi disbalansā, kura doša ir nokļuvusi tur, kur viņai nav jāatrodas, tad mēs izvērtējam, cik daudz tās došas tur ir, ja? Ja? No tā ir atkarīgs, kā mēs viņu vai dziksim ārā vai mazināsim. Un tad mēs ņemam vērā dušu, ja konkrētos audus lokalizāciju, kas ir skarti.
Dosh, dusha, samushram, gatani chikitsa. In Ayurveda, there is a principle that dosh, that is vata, pitta and kapha, and dusha. Their samushram means they are mixed together. Vata, pitta and kapha, when they are mixed together, we have to shape them, we have to separate them from the dusha. So that is the chikitsa, that is called as the permanent cure of the disease.
Un Ayurvedā, tad viens no ārstēšanas principiem ir, kad mēs skatāmies, ka visas trīs došas ir sajauktas un iekļuvušas audos un disbalansējušas audus, tad mēs pa priekšu viņas izņemam ārā un sadalām tās došas.
Ayurveda gives more importance to the stomach. For example, a patient suffering from some stone in the kidney, and this modern system we remove the stone. For example, in the case of kidney stone,
Ayurvedā ir ļoti liela nozīme vienmēr gremošanā. Viņš teica būtiski kuņi, gremošana, cūguni. Tāpēc, ka rietummedicīnā, ja piemēram mēs runājam par nierakmeni, tad rietummedicīna koncentrētos tikai uz nierakmeni. Kaut kā tiktu vaļā no tā nierakmenis.
So they have just done the surgery, but that samprapti, means pathogenesis of the disease ignored.
Tiešām bieži var gadīties tā, ka tiktu vaļā no nierakmenes, vai tā būtu operācija vai citā veidā, bet samprapti, kāda tā bija etioloģija, patogenēze, līdz tam...
So the main cause of the problem lies under the stomach. Because the stomach is the root cause of this interest, we have to take care of the absorption of this calcium in the intestine.
Bet viens no aspektiem varētu būt kalcija absorpcija.
So we gave the treatment of this digestive system and gave the proper medicine for excretion of the formation of the stone. We stopped the formation of the stone by giving some Ayurvedic medicines.
Un tādā veidā dodot kaut kādus specifiskus preparātus, parūpēs vai mazina palielina attiecīgi to kalcija absorpciju, kas tieši notiek koštāta tremošanas traktā.
Some diet like this radish, we give some juice of the radish. We take care of that we cure the stone by giving the medicine for the stomach, for the digestive system.
Tātad mēs dodam kaut kādus medikamentus, piemēram, kā redīs sulu šajā gadījumā, lai tieši kremošanas traktu mēs ārstējam.
So then we will get the proper Ayurvedic medicines from this Latvia. We will get all these type of medicines which we are just applying them. I hope that you will get the treatment very easy to cure the many problems.
Un dakteris arī piedalās medikamentu nodrošināšanā.
Thank you very much.
Liels paldies. Kāda jautājuma?
Yes, any question answer? Yes. Good.